Namaskar and a very warm welcome on the 29th episode You the Nurse Talk Show. We love you and you love us, and therefore our journey begins. And we love your feedback, appreciation, criticism. So please do keep writing us through Facebook and YouTube channel. Yes, after each episode, we tend to upload our live show on the YouTube. So anytime, anywhere, you can access it on there. Well, as you all know, this month we are celebrating a special unique theme, Fir Bhi Dil Hai Hindustani. Yes, this month we have invited passionate nurses who are not practicing in India, but still they are strongly bonded with Indian healthcare system and Indian nurses. Directly, indirectly, they are contributing and helping to develop Indian healthcare system as well as uplifting the Indian nursing standard in India as well as in abroad. So last week, we met Mr. Tipi Swami and get inspired with his, motivational speech. And this week, we are having another mesmerizing master. Yes, the concept of this week is transformational leadership in action. Yes, you nurse talk show believe that every person is a leader. And therefore, we keep talking about the unconventional style of leadership. Like we had already discussed about the leader without title, and now we are talking about another new and exploring area of transformational leadership. Yes, everybody is leader and they have a huge potential to produce good and bad leader. So therefore, we should learn leadership in a better way so that we can actually imbibe these good qualities among ourselves, and therefore we can build new leaders in future. With that note, I request my team to please introduce themselves. Chris?
Hi everyone, I am Chris Thomas. I'm from Mount Abu. Welcome you all for today's episode on transformational leadership. We are lovely to listen you, Rajeev sir, because he's from working under NHS. NHS, as we all know, it's one of the largest healthcare system across the globe. So we really waiting to listen you, sir. Welcome you, and lovely audience also. Once again, welcome you all.
Yeah. Shri ma'am.
Hello everyone, this is Sri Devi. Just completed 4 decades of nursing from the day I started nursing, so 2020. That's a long and a short period, and we welcome everyone to the show, and especially Rajiv, and looking forward to listening to Dil Hai Hindustani.
Yeah. Uma ma'am. Ma'am, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, Umahanda here. I said, I'm happy to know from Rajiv that he says that everybody knows you. That means that I'm known as a nurse. I retired in 2012 and I still continue to be a nurse, and I'll never stop it to be a nurse till the last breath of my life. And very nice meeting you all again. Look forward always to Fridays. And then I see that I'm before everybody, and I'm never absent from as far as possible. I love to be there with you all for this part of the day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you cannot be because you are the you of the show. So you have to be there. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thanks,
Dalma,
Rupa.
I can see you. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Rajiv sir, for being here and sharing your experience would be eye-opening for us in India. So I hope we will learn differently from your experience, and very eagerly waiting for listening to you, sir, and all the audience. I hope you will have a very enriching session. Welcome everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dalma. So yes, as everybody know that today we are having a very special guest on the show, Mr. Rajeev Krishna Metri. You can see that he's a senior nurse, CCU and primary PCI coordinator at NHS Trust, UK. He's a counselor of Bodin Wine Town at I'm so sorry for my pronunciation because I'm totally Indian in terms of my pronunciation and always wrong
It's okay.
personally.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, so I really want that you should, pronounce it once more.
Bodil within.
Bodin,
Bodil
Widen.
within. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So, well, let me tell you a brief about this charismatic personality and why we have chosen this special theme or concept for him. Well, I personally found this is a very passionate and very determined person who knows how to design his own dream, and he's very specifically he will be sharing so many his life philosophy stories. And next one now will be interesting to listen, Mr. Rajeev Krishna Metri. He, as you can see, his credential, he's a BSc nursing from Karnataka, India. And then he actually keep on striving hard to develop his clinical skills. He's my personal favorite because I really have a strong love for the clinical nurses, and I found one of the clinical nurse just sitting next to me, and today we will be talking to him. Thank you very much, sir, accepting our invitation, being on the show, and we are looking forward listening from you. Thank you very much once again, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Over to you, sir.
Okay. And good evening, everyone, and good morning and good afternoon, those who are across the world. Can you hear me? Okay, madam?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So today it's a great opportunity that you have given me this platform to recognizing one of the clinical nurse and speaking to some of the stalwarts of nursing and the leaders of nursing who are in India and across the world. And I really respect and my special honor and respect to Uma Madam and all my teachers and all my colleagues and all my students. So just to talk briefly about why I am here and how I am doing in UK and where I have come from. I'll just go through this theme as a transformational leadership. Create. This is basically, I do not want to take you to the theoretical way or a teaching way like how you do in the university, because you all can Google it, you all can study it, you all can look and you can meet all the teachers and do it. But what I'm going to talk today is from my real life experience. That's what the organizers wanted me to talk and highlight some of the important things. So basically to talk to me, talk about myself, where I come from. I'm born in one of the small village in Karnataka in Belgaum district, and I'm very lucky and very fortunate to have my parents as my teachers because they both are primary school teachers. And I think since I was growing up, I think teaching is one of the best and the noble profession in the world. And when you have a guru and as a matru pitru, they both are with you, obviously, their product should be glowing. That's what not the pressure, but as a son, I was having always in my mind. And when, as a teacher's son in the school, going back to the primary, there is a lot of respect you get, lot of perks you get, lot of attention you get from everyone. And that push you to gain kind of leadership qualities in your life. And then that's how I became a leader in the class itself from the primary school, and that I carried on. And when my father was quite strict, and he put me into the hostel school from my secondary school, and I really felt how that experience of a son missing a parent, and I can't explain that feelings and the experiences. But that made me a strong person. If I wouldn't have stayed in a hostel life at 3 years in my secondary school, I wouldn't have been in UK because I was so much close and attached like every son and a daughter with their parents. And then I came to the PUC And obviously, I was more interested, fan of Sachin Tendulkar. Who doesn't know Sachin Tendulkar? And like teenager, as a naughty child, I was missing the classes, going to play cricket, and missing the practicals, going to play cricket. And but that I unknowingly, the leadership qualities were developing within me when I was missing the classes and playing the cricket, because I became a captain of the cricket team without knowing to my parents, without knowing to my class teachers. But when the one of the day we won the big tournament, and it came on the newspaper, and my father came to see me to the college along with my bat, which was my favorite bat, and he broke my bat in front of me, in front of all my friends. And that day was so painful for me, and I couldn't forget about it. But it's not, during the as a teenager, you think always that, oh my God, my father hates me so much. I don't like my dad. I don't like mama. I don't like my. You just get all the negativities, because at that age, at that time, we do not realize. So many of students might be watching now, because our teachers are always there to guide us, to support us, and nobody wants you to go down the hill. Everybody wants the success of their own children. Everyone wants their success of their own student. And this is what my parents wanted. But at that age, you don't grasp it, you don't get it inside. And that's why, the leadership was developing within me, and the transformation was already, I was seeing it, because leader doesn't create, the followers, because YouTube leader is not a YouTube, leader is not a Facebook. They create the followers, but the true leader doesn't create a followers. A true leader is the one who create the leader who is better than him. And that's one of the best quality. And now I read about it, because YouTube and Facebooks are now famous, but this was inculcated in me when I was in the PUC levels. And because everything is beginning of everything is a small, isn't it? It's a similar way. Every tiny things adds together like a drop in an ocean, and that makes the ocean, every drop of the water. And then when I was growing and I was going along, and then I came across, I was very lucky, very, very lucky to come across with a Brahma Kumaris, because there is a place called Saudati, and one of my uncle took me to their house, and they were just praying. I didn't know anything, and there were one of the lessons. It was a 7 days program. As a child or a teenager, I went there, but I don't wanted to be there, because I wanted to play with outside with other children and everything. But my uncle forced me to sit there, and there was one of the lesson I still remember. There was a lesson on who am I. That was in Kannada, Nanu Yaru. That lesson was going on. Who am I? And then I started thinking as a 18 years old, and who am I? I don't know. I'm Rajeev. I'm a cricketer. I never looked myself as a nurse at that age. But unfortunately, I attended that. That was very, very impressive to me. And it made me to realize, not completely, that to know who am I. But I wasn't very much keen or anything. But during that session, I realized the power of mind, because that really saw the seed in my mind to create all these qualities as a leader. Then coming back to the PUC results, I completed PUC. As you know, parents expect, my son wants to be a doctor. My son wants to be an engineer. There wasn't anything during 90s. They all wanted even doctor and the engineers. Unfortunately, I didn't do well. So you know what my father did is, no, you are going to write your PUC exam again. And that time the syllabus was changed, PUC second year again. And that was again toughest job for me. So instead of taking the exam, he put me for the tuitions, and he wanted me to become a doctor. And then I just couldn't concentrate, because I wanted to be a cricketer. My father is not allowing me, but why is he forcing me to become academic? And that was in my head, and that was in my mind, that I do not want to, because mind is very powerful. That's what I'm trying to tell, because mind is a beautiful servant, and it's a dangerous master. And that's why this mind plays such an important role. But again, when I second time attempted the PUC results, didn't take me to medicine or engineering. So what happened? As a loving son, eldest son in the family, and one of the famous cricketer in the village and the taluka places. And what happens, I do not want to show my face to my parents. I do not want to show my face to my friends. I do not want to show my face to my villagers. So obviously I disappeared. And I disappeared. And that's the time, I started thinking about who am I? What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Whether I'm going into the right direction, whether I'm going in the wrong direction. So all this started coming into my mind. And I think that was a turning point in my life. Friends, I'll tell you, because that is the day I realized the love, affection, caring, and all the things of what parents are giving me and what am I giving to them. Because that's the time I realized, who am I? I'm just, just a body with a flesh. And, but what am I doing? I need to do something better. And that's the day I decided, I want to do something my parents what makes my parents to feel proud of their son, what it makes my brothers to feel my brother is one of the proud person. And because they know, because somebody suggested me, why can't you go to the law and do the some become a politician, why can't you do some election and contest the things. But that was not the thing I wanted to do, because one, you want to feel yourself satisfied, and second thing, you want to make your parents to feel proud and your relatives and all your village to feel proud. And that's how I went for admission for the medicine college. After my second time PUC results, I got the medicine seat, but it was a payment seat. But unfortunately, we couldn't do it because, there was a heavy capitation and heavy fees and everything. And I had 3 younger brothers, and my father was the responsible a brother to their 4 brothers and 3 sisters. And because of that, we couldn't do it medicine, offered for the dentistry, but I didn't like the dentistry. So I ended up in nursing, because when I was admitted in the hospital, and that's the time I realized, the love and the care of the nurse giving it to me, the way they are talking to me, it just touched my heart. More than the medicine, that the word, the smile on the nurse, it touched my heart. And that day I thought, if I become a dentist, I'm going to give a pain, nobody's going to like me. And I just wanted to be a nurse. And that made me the decision, I want to join the BSc nursing. And when I joined the BSc nursing, and obviously I started my career, and I started getting a lot of experience, knowledge as a student, and gained a lot of respect from all my teachers, and developed, become a good leader in the classroom and the college. And so many of my teachers, they all helped me. It's like I was like a rock, and you need a sculpture to hit that one, and you make it a one what you call the idol or a statue. And when that rock, which was in the jungle or in the forest, when sculpture makes it in a good shape, he gives it, and when you bring and keep it, and that becomes a god, isn't it? And it is all because of the efforts and support. Everything was given by teachers and my parents. And that's how I developed, as a leader, I developed a lot of respect. As a leader, I developed, um, started believing in people, because as a leader, you just don't become, you need to have a trust, so that you develop the trust. And then as a leader, I started growing, and I started learning slowly, and I became a good listener to everyone. And then because of that, all these qualities automatically, because it's not that I wanted to um, become a leader, it's not in my head, but the foundation what laid by all the people, it started building the good kind of characteristic person. And that's how I ended up in UK. Before coming to UK, I always, because of supporting, helping nature. In 2001, many of you remember, in Gujarat, in Bhuj, there was an earthquake on 26th of January. And I was there to help the people, in needy people. On that day, I was there about 6 weeks. I stayed there. I do not know whether it was a voluntary I wanted to do. I do not know what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to help people during the Gujarat earthquake. And when I went there, I don't know, blessings came, from the God maybe. And while I was going back from Gujarat to Belgaum, and on the way, there was a STD booth, and I had to call my home that saying that I reached safely near Mumbai and I'm coming home. And then my mom said, there is a letter for you in English. I do not know. A lot of things is written in 2-3 pages, and my brother will read it for you. And my brother read it to me, and it was an offer for me to come to United Kingdom. And then that's how I ended up in UK. But when I came to UK first, it was really, really, really tough time. Missing home, because missing parents, missing families, missing your own hospital, missing your colleagues. It was a really, really tough time. But what kept me positive, what kept me is because my strong faith within me, and strong because of the strong faith, because we need to believe ourselves first. If you don't believe yourself, then whatever direction you are heading, whatever the uh, job you are doing, whatever the work you are going, you are not going to achieve that one. And that's why it is very, very important for a true leader. You need to believe in yourself. Then, I started, thinking like, there are three things like SOS. I started thinking, whatever I do, my father used to tell me when I was a young, I'll tell that phrase in Kannada and explain. My father always used to tell me, wherever you go, Rajiv, write it in your room, bedroom, or the door when you are coming out. Write it there. Nanu bandaddu eke, nanna kartavya enu. So what does it mean? It's in English. So why am I here? So in the beginning I learned who am I, but now my father told me why I am here. So, and then the second phrase is, what is my duty? So what is the duty I need to do? So it applies in everything. Even now today, why am I here? And what is my duty? So for every step I was taking, everything I was doing, I started thinking in my mind, why am I here and what I need to do? So then that started building me more confidential. And again, coming back to my profession, nursing. So I started in a nursing home. And nursing home in India, we think nursing home is one of the doctor wants a nursing home, which is a hospital. That was my mentality. But when I came here, the nursing home is completely different, and a lot of you know about it. And then this nursing home is nothing but an old age home. Yeah. But that concept, when in 2000, it wasn't there in India. We didn't know about the nursing homes in India. But I started working in a care homes, and that completely, again, my parents are going to be old one day. And I started thinking, because every patient we learn in nursing, every patient you see the patient like your own relative, father, mother, uncle, auntie, or relatives, brother. So you think about that. So same thing I started, that mind was there. And when I looked at old patients or old in the old age home, and I started thinking about my parents. My parents are going to be old, and I need to do something for them. And I started looking the image of my parents in my patients here. And that's how it started giving me a lot of confidence to look after them with the compassionate care and with the loving care, and with from a bottom of my heart I started giving that. As a nurse, it doesn't matter whether you are a ANM or a GNM or a BSc nurse, or it doesn't matter, or whether you're a PhD holder or a MPhil or whatever, you go the higher. But what simple thing is, what you do from your bottom of the heart, that touches the patient. It's not that your degrees are only in the certificate. And that's what I believed into that, because one of the teacher, gave a lot of examples about the education. Yeah. And education means it is not the university education. It's not about the certificates we gain, but it is it what it goes inside and brings out, and what the reflection of that education gives you the satisfaction is a real education. And that's why that satisfaction should be there in your education. And that's how I grew up and came. And then I went moved into the cardiothoracic, and I now I'm in the coordinator. PCA is like nothing but a care primary care coordinator. Means it's the people who has a heart attack, immediately they come directly to me. That's called percutaneous interventions. And these are the patients whom I look after now. So now, last I want to tell you a few things. Always ask questions to yourself. Why am I here? What am I going to do? And then always remember your past, and whatever you're going to further ahead, remember always where you have come from. Never ever forget that where you have come from. And that's why, it's like once you are in the water, even though you are don't know the swimming or you don't know the swimming, it will make you to learn how to swim, because that learning process is always throughout the life. And that's what I need to give a simple message to the people in back home, where I'm when we come away, we look, and when you look at India, when you look at a very bigger picture of our own colleagues and own friends and all, and that's what we're learning here. We're giving it back to them. We're just teaching them, and we're trying to promote them. It's not that we want to show off. It's not that, but we just want to bring whatever is in me within you, and that's how we want to help for our profession and the professionals. So it doesn't matter, and whether if you're done, because a lot of institutions are grown up in India nowadays, in the nursing institution. One is to make a money, and the second thing, the nurses want to go abroad. Yeah, and these are the two things. And the other third thing, they think, people who think 50-50, or they think that, no, I don't want to work in the hospital. Who wants to look after the patients? They all think that I want to become a teacher, or I want to become a professor, I want to become a lecturer. This is not the nursing. This is not the reason you have come for nursing. And nursing is not becoming a professor or a lecturer or a doctorate or principal or nothing, because the real nursing is in a patient care. And that's what I want to tell from the bottom of my heart, because whether you're a GNM or a BSc or whatever the course you've done, but if you're doing anything from your bottom of the heart, that will lift you up, and it will take you wherever you want to be. But that where you want to be, that you need to fix in your mind. Nobody is going to fix it in mind. And last, give one more example, madam, if you have a time, because there is a small example. I came when I was in the primary school. I was doing the drama. I was in this year 6 or year 7 standard, and I was having a role of Ekalavya. And when Ekalavya was there, you all know about Ekalavya. Was in made he didn't have a teacher, but he made an image of his own guru, who was a Dronacharya, one of the best teacher, guru. And he made an image in a clay, and he made his image, and he sat in front of him and prayed every day, and he learned. He's looking at that clay, and he made the image, and he learned the what do you call the archery. Yeah, and he became one of the best of the best. And that news reached to Dronacharya, and Dronacharya's favorite student was obviously Arjuna. And he doesn't even know. What I am saying is, as a teacher, you shouldn't have a favoritism here. You shouldn't differentiate your own students. Everyone you should treat equally. But Dronacharya, even though he was the best teacher, his heart was more towards Arjuna, because he was his own teacher. But whereas Ekalavya wasn't his own teacher, own student. So when obviously in returns, what did he ask? His right thumb. So obviously, because the Ekalavya gave his right thumb. So why I'm telling is, because if I want to be whatever, if I want to be a big person in the world, or whatever you want to be, please do not keep in your mind an image of someone else, because that will hurt you one day. So please keep yourself in that position, whether you want to be a director of nursing, whether you wanted to be a president of America, whether you want to be, anything. So you look yourself, your image into that one, and then you will reach to that stage. So because if you put someone's image there, that is very, very difficult, because you never know when it's going to hurt you. So this is about, I want to just added few things. I didn't use much about the book knowledge and things. Forgive me if anyone is expecting that one, but I'm talking from my experience. So that's why, even though you're wherever you are, you keep yourself image, and you try to achieve it, and do from your bottom of the heart, and give 100% care to a patient. And thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was actually that's apt what we actually wanted from you. We, as we keep talking that, we can read anything from the Google, but we cannot read what Rajeev Metri's life, how you live your life, how you use this philosophy in your life. Thank you very much, for, sir. It was lovely. But let me tell you, friends, I didn't introduce sir properly that he's a person who is totally involved in all the domain of the life. He is very successful in his personal life. He's very successful. Obviously, you can see that he is a very successful in a professional, but at the same time, he's very successful. And people keep asking the secret of being so successful in his social life, because he's quite involved in social work. So I really want this just should reflect little bit more information about that, because being a nurse, it is very important to be involved with the many social activities. And he, let me tell you, he's involved in so many NGOs in India as well as UK. So over to you, sir.
Sorry, I just missed it. There was a pause in the middle.
Yeah,
Can you repeat it, ma'am?
I said just can you give us a brief introduction and information in which type of social activity you are involved?
Oh, about my social activities.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
because I can
life
see
is not,
so much in your profile.
Oh, thank you, madam. Yeah, I mean, life is very, very simple, madam, and all my friends, because life is not complicated at all, but we make complicated because of our choice. That's what I learned. Because the more you have a choice, it's like going to a clothes shop, for buying the saris or a buying the dress, or they throw you so many clothes, so many saris in front of you, and you get mixed up, isn't it? But if you have in your mind, I want to buy today, the green sari or a orange sari or red sari. If you have that in my mind, you'll go and only see that point. And because life is exactly the same. Once you fix your mind and once you know what you want to achieve and where you want to head, it is very, very simple, and it takes you very smoothly, and you'll be flying in the life, because choices are made by us, not anyone else. And that's why it is very, very important. And um, when you become a professional life, it is very, very important, because you have a families. It doesn't matter whether it's your husband, whether it's a wife, whether children, or your parents, or your relatives, because everything comes in the family. Because it's most very important to balance your life, because if you don't balance it, obviously, it will just completely disturbed. And if you're disturbed in the family life, your professional life is also disturbed. And that's why, when um, you have to give, because everyone has got a 24 hours time, whether it is the richest person in the world or the president of any big richest country, or whether as a nurse I am, we all got a 24 hours time. So it's very important how we divide the time within ourselves. And that's why it's most important is like, um, there is a saying that people, if anyone says that I'm very busy, then it's actually not. Because there is a saying that a busy person is the one who gives the time for everything and everyone. And that's why even some of my friends ask me, how do you do this, Lay? How do you do that, Lay? How do you give the time, Lay? Then I just know, I don't know. Because if I have that something in my mind, I want to do this one, you just do it. Because most important is the time management, even though whether you're a leader in the professionalism or whether it's a family life. And if you manage the time how to do it, it's very easy to do everything. And once you, like, for example, my routine is like, once you come home from work, I completely forget about my workplace just before coming out of that hospital. Yeah, I don't even remember anything. I do not bring anything from the hospital, and I talk with my wife or my children at home or my friends. I completely out of that bubble. Now with the COVID we are having, everything is a bubble, isn't it? So that bubble, when I come into that one, I'm in a different bubble. I don't remember that one. But when I'm come out of the family life to the professional life, I completely forget about the family life, and I'm only involved into the professional life. Because in the professional life, you need to manage the unit, you need to manage the juniors, you need to manage the seniors, you need to manage a lot of responsibilities, and more important is the patient care, and without compromising the any quality. And that's how that. So as I started here, I just started finding again, a passion is a cricket. It was still there. So I found a cricket club in UK here, and then I just completed, like, nearly 150 games I contributed, and got one of the special award from the club. And then I got, in 2 years, I got a best bowler in the cricket as well. And then that is the cricket life. And once the cricket life started, I still tell you one of the story that, my father came in 2006 here, my parents, and I just took my father to the cricket club. Every Saturday he used to come with me and sit and watch the match. And one day when everybody is celebrating, that day luckily I took 6 wickets, and that day everyone is celebrating, and my father his tears were dropping, and he told my mom that if I would have supported my son when he was young to become a cricketer, probably he would have been very, very successful cricketer. He's told me, But this is all part of life, Then I didn't even remember, because if there is one of the professor I was attending his lecture, and he was just saying, and he's one of the very top principal in India, and his son didn't score very well in the SSLC exam, and I think many of you must have heard about his story. And when the son came home, and he's shown his mark sheet or a progress sheet to his mom, and his mom shouted him like anything, "Oh my God, you got only 42 in this, only 45 in this. What is your dad is going to do it?" And he's a big person, he's a principal, and he's going to do this thing. But what happened is he just didn't. Then son was shivering, and the evening when dad comes from work and had his coffee and reading his newspaper, and son is shivering and sweating, and he bring his progress card, and, "Daddy, can you please sign my progress sheet?" And then what the son does is, "Okay, bring it here." So dad looks at, and then when dad looks at his face, his tears are almost coming to come out, and he's shivering and sweating. And then he looked at, "Okay, where is the pen?" So he got the pen, just signed the progress sheet and gave it back. And that son even straightway ran to the kitchen and told his mom, "Daddy signed my progress sheet. He didn't shout at me, and he didn't shout at me." And he was so happy, that son. But dad knew that, my son didn't do well because he had cricket, and he went to Australia for 20 or 21 days or something for cricket coaching, and he didn't do well because dad knew about it. And at the same time, he doesn't want to shout his child. And then that same son, who became a very, very big engineer in America, and he wrote the letter to his father saying that, "The turning point in my life, Dad, do you know what it is? That you signed my progress sheet on the SSLC without asking me anything and without shouting me." And that is the day he made, I made the decision that I'm going to do something for my dad. I'm going to do something for my parents, and I'm going to do something for my country. And because why I'm telling is, it's very important. We all have a children, please do not shout children. And I was just sharing one of the experience, that children do what you do. Children don't do what you say. I was just sharing one of the experience with the same, one of the professor was saying, like a practical exam. I mean, you can do that with your students. He tells one of the students, "Lift your right hand up, right index finger," and he will say, "Everybody, all of you, please touch your left cheek." Yeah, he will tell everyone. But what he does is, and watch me carefully, "Please touch your left cheek." So what everybody does is, and he's listening to, and "Follow my finger," he says, and he just take the finger and he touch here. And all of them, or like more than 60% of the people do touching the nose. But what he's saying is, touch the left cheek. But many people doesn't do it, because exactly the children are exactly the same. So, and that's what, since I got, I just, this another part is saying, since I got affected with the COVID and came out of that one, I always used to tell my children, "Do this, do this, do this." But since that, I changed my practice. I started, practicing myself with the yoga and the meditation in the morning. I never ever asked my children to do it. Never ever asked them to get up. Never ever asked them to put the mat and do it. But I did 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, or a week. But next minute, what happened? My children started doing it. "Daddy, I want to do the yoga with you." And my daughters, they both do 25 Surya Namaskars every day, because that's what the biggest thing. And this is what I always tell my friends, always tell my parents. And that's how, what we do makes a much difference. And this is how about the thing. And then the third thing, I entered into the politics here. And, because I had a little bit of time. And before that, I entered into the school governor, and became a school governor in my school. And then that school governor role pushed me to become a counselor like a counselor is like a corporator in India, you call. So I became a corporator, that push. So this is how, what you got a basic foundation, that foundation pushes you up. But you do with the dedication, do with the love, and do with affection. And that's what it pushes you. And without balancing the family life, without balancing the social life, without balancing the professional life, we are not going to 100% satisfied in life. So whatever you do it with the love, do with affection, and achieve the satisfaction. That's how the balancing the social and the professional life.
Yeah.
Is that
Thank you
okay?
very much, sir.
Thank you.
But sir, I have a one question that who was the most inspiring leader in your life? Like, would you like to say few words about how you learn this, that compassion, so many things, like you said that your parents are your first teacher, but in nursing and in your professional life, definitely you must be having some leader to whom you are admiring and wanted to be like them. Yes.
So when I was young, I used to read a lot about Swami Vivekananda, and he became one of my great role model and a leader in my life, and that affected me because I was in the school and my father used to bring a lot of books, and that time I think the one book I really liked is about Swami Vivekananda. And because of Swami Vivekananda, and then one of the simple story is like, when he went to Chicago and he made a big speech and he became very famous, and unfortunately we lost him at very very young age. But the amount of knowledge and the experience and the he has left behind us for to us to read, it's amazing. And he was one of the most inspirational person in my life, I can say. And as coming to my professional life, in nursing, I will tell you, he's one of my the best of the best teacher, who is called Saleh sir. Many of you probably know Mr. Suresh Saleh. He's from Miraz and he's still in Miraz. He's retired now. But this person inspired us so much in the nursing college. And, because nowadays I don't know, because I worked after the nursing, I worked 2 years as a clinical instructor there. But what I felt was I was working 6 hours, 7:30 to 1:30. I was working in a ITU, cardiac ITU. And after 1:30, what do I need to do? So I went and asked the principal, Joshi Madam was there that time. And I went, Madam, can I come and teach the students? Because that was one of the reasons. My mom always wanted to see me as a teacher because she was a teacher. Then I took that opportunity. I don't wanted to upset my mom. So I went and asked the madam and got the clinical instructor or a tutor. And I went and started teaching in the college. And then I found teaching was not difficult for me because anyone can teach. If you start talking and if you read the books and you can go and teach 1 hour for the students. But what I found the difficult part was practical or the clinical area. And another thing I realized, anybody, whoever is, become academically good, anyone can become a teacher. But a teacher cannot become a good clinical staff because it's not that easy, because teaching is, is like a kind of one-way process, even though your students are there and they're listening and you are talking. But clinical part is difficult because you need to deal with so many multidisciplinary teams, patients, relatives, families, and the patient, and it's a very hard job, and you need to have a multi-skilled in that one. And then when this teacher, because I still remember my first year of nursing, when my teacher who was showing me, I don't know nowadays they show it or not, but he was still showing me a sponge bath, you know and you need to bring the enamel trays, rubber Macintosh, those sheets, and he was putting it and he was showing me the the bed bath procedure. And I still it is in my mind fixed, even though I studied in 1994, and it is fixed in my mind the way that teacher has taught me. And I always wanted to be like my teacher, who wanted to be. And the real satisfaction for a teacher or a leader is that they do not want to see a person in front of him as the same person, but they want him better than him. He is a true leader. Because if we want him to be the same, it's not no difference then that what you achieved. But the greatest achievement for a true leader is you want to see that student, you want to see that staff who is better than you. And that's the greatest satisfaction for a transformational leaders. And that's all the satisfaction is. Yeah. So these are my role
Yeah,
models.
that's what. Yeah, great, sir. And it is actually very inspiring. You talk about that Swami Vivekanand ji, and he is having a very unique philosophy in his life. So, I request everyone, please do spare some time and read little bit about the Swami Vivekananda ji, because when I read him I found that he was a unique personality, as you said. Today we are talking about the transformational leadership. So I really want that, can you speak and can you reflect a little more on transformational leadership, what exactly it is, as you keep saying, like, it is not only that transformational leader are those who are making the better leader, means definitely they are giving a better opportunity for their team. They are inspiring them, they are just grooming them in a personal, professional and the social front, as you keep doing with your team and as you are following in your life. So I request everyone, as sir said, asking question is the important thing, and I request everyone, please do ask questions so that we can learn more from sir. Yeah, anything else would you like to add, sir?
I mean, as a Swami Vivekananda was a visionary person, yeah, and obviously, he when one of the example is like, uh, he went to Chicago, and the Bhagavad Gita, one of the holy book of Hindus, was kept underneath. And I think that is one of the simple example I want to share with you. How you need to take, because negativity into positivity, how you want to take, because true, it's one of the best thing that true leader should always inculcate in within them, because you never take a negativity into a negativity, then you will become a negative. So that's one of the things, because he
Yeah.
was a visionary and he was respected by everyone. And this sannyasi, the monk who went there with the bhagwa color dress, and first of all, nobody, oh, what this man is, and he was very young, and he was one of the youngest one among the group of all these religious leaders. And when they put it this Bhagavad Gita underneath, and all the books and everything was above it, and one of the colleague or whoever was there, he asked Swami Vivekananda, do you know that are you from India? And because they always look at very low, because he's a monk, young, and Bhagavad color dress he's wearing. And he asked Swami Vivekananda, your Bhagavad Gita, your book is just on the bottom of all of these, and you look at your state, and everyone is on the top like that, he said. And he just wanted to insult him. But you know what Swamiji said to him? Yes, I agree. That is very true. And that's a very, very good observation, dear friend. But if you go and just pull the Bhagavad Gita from the bottom, what's going to happen? And that says, because that's the foundation for everyone. That's what he said. Because it's not about, I'm not talking about the religion here. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm just talking about how Swamiji has created that negativity into positivity. And that he made that person also to think, oh yeah, that is true, isn't it? And that's how, one of the thing, and being a visionary, it's very, very important to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life.
Yeah, that's a lovely example, actually. I also, liked it very much. Like he said, this is a foundation of all other, holy books. Yes. So there's a question. Somebody asked, do you find any difficulty? Because we can see that you are very positive. You are a person who can convert all the challenges into the opportunity, poison into the medicine. So do you find any challenge because of your this attitude? And sometimes you find yourself in a difficult situation, and how you came out of that?
Of course, yeah. Challenges, negativities, they're always part of they're like a good and bad, or like a two sides of the same coin, isn't it? So same as the positivity and negativity. And that's a very good question. And when any challenges you face, or I face, or anyone who are the true leaders face, first thing is don't panic. Because one thing always have in your mind, that for every problem there is a solution. Because that is always possible. There is no problem in this world without a solution. Because whether that solution, whether it's from you, it comes from you, or you seek help and it comes from someone else. So that keeping yourself positive is very, very important. Because that's what I all never ever get panic, whether whatever it is, there's no need to become a panic. Because if it's earthquake is going to happen now, it's fine. Okay, that's fine, no problem. It's Srishtika Niyamai. So why am to get scared? It will happen, because I cannot stop that one. And because whether it's a simple thing, if somebody says, oh, this patient is going to complain, that's fine. But just take it easily, be positive, and think positive. Because becoming positive and staying positive is not easy. but becoming negative and becoming a negativity growing is like a poison in your body. One drop of poison can spoil the liters or gallons of water, isn't it? So that's why stay positive, and that's how I always. And for a leader, a true leader, most important is staying calm. So you need to be very, very calm to make a good decision. If you given a small example, if if you go to the pond, where the water is very nice and steadily is there, and when you look through that water, you'll see the bottom of that water, isn't it? Some stones or little plants or tiny fishes running around. But take a stone and throw it. What happens? It's all just everything messes away, isn't it? You do not see it. So mind is exactly the same. जैसे कि पानी है ना, तालाब का पानी very calm and quiet. It's exactly the same. So do not disturb yourself. Do not get disturbed, or do not disturb yourself. And stay calm and stay positive. And there is a solution for every problem, and you will win every challenges you face. And that's the simple answer I can give you. I can't hear you, madam. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, sir. I said you have enough inspired our passive listeners, and now they are activated and they're asking questions. So our next question is, have you ever encountered any negative leader who is blocking your positive energy, and how you handle that?
Oh, there are many, not just one.
Then how you handle that?
One thing, I love them, because without them, I cannot become a positive person. Because if you don't love them, then you cannot think of any challenges or any solutions for that. And there are quite a few. I come across in the professional career, come across in the sports career, and sports is much worse than the professional career. Yeah, and I come across in the political career. And when I face that kind of people, the simplest thing I do is I'll smile. Yeah, smile itself is makes them completely down. Why this fellow is smiling at me when I'm giving him such a bad time, trouble? And even anyone, even in the hospital, in the ground, or in the political battleground, I'll just keep smiling, and they do not know what the answer is, and they get confused and they get mixed up, and that itself is a defeat for them. So smile is free for us. So always bring that smile. And when you just smile, one is it improves your face value, and the second thing, it changes so much of hormonal changes within our body. And the third thing, that smile is very, very infectious, and you bring a smile on other person as well. And whether a person is coming with a sword in front of you, you keep smiling. A person coming with a gun in front of you, just smile, and that might change him. And that's why it's very, very important that you need to smile. And that's how it's a best guard or a best weapon for you to protect yourself. And always follow these. I think there are 5 words I trying to remember. It's just follow with the watch. Remember the watch. And one is the words what you speak. In the anger, you do not know what you're talking. The words what is coming from you when you're angry is very, very important. And that's one of the things I read in Swami Vivekananda's biography. So what word you're going to get out, that's very important. Second thing, when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're facing the enemy, I won't use the enemy because they're not my enemies, because without them I cannot be like this. So the third thing is very important, is what your thoughts. So the thoughts are very important at that time. And fourth one is character. And the last but not the least, your heart. So if you relate to your watch, so W is for words, A is for actions, T is for thoughts, C is for character, and H is for heart. So remember your watch always when you are angry, or when you come across any challenging person, and you will be successful, and you will be one of the best in front of them. We can't hear him.
Again muted.
Okay, no.
Yeah. You told us many times, but still I wanted to want to take that question, how you convert negativity into the positivity. Because one thing which we which we have observed in our community, especially the nursing community, we are very negative. Pardon me for saying that, but that's the truth. Because of the pandemic, because of so many challenges, we have a tendency to be negative. So how you convert this negativity into the positivity? As you said, that smile, definitely. What else? How? What other things you to do usually to
I mean,
convert negativity into positivity?
one is negativity creates because of something else, like opposite person, isn't it? Whether it's a person or something else. So always have a attitude of having a forgiveness, forgive the person opposite to you. And if you have like what you call once you're within that passion, that passion makes you. And the second thing is hate is like an acid. Yeah. So whether you put it in a what you call a golden tub, or whether it is in a metal, or it will destroy, because that negativity is like an acid. Yeah. And if that negativity is staying within you, it is first, it is destroying us. So never ever keep that within you. Always just bring it out. And always, you always have a good friends, you always have a good colleagues. And when you're off the time, or when you sit with them and speak to them, bring it out from you. Share with one of your best friends or the colleagues, because you'll seek help and advice from them as well. And never ever think that ego stick in your head. When the hate started coming, because of one of the important thing in our nursing profession is ego. Because mujhe sab kuch aata hai, I know everything. Yeah. But do not have that kind of attitude. And having a very very good attitude, because there is one of the examples I will give you. I got a lot of knowledge, lot of degrees, I got everything in the nursing, I achieved and got it. Yeah, I got a PhD, MPhil nursing, I've done double masters, triple masters and all. And on the other side, I'm a clinical nurse. I got all the skills. So bring me anything. I can put the cannula, I can put the neckline, I can intubate the patient, I can do the tracheostomy. You name everything. I know everything. Yeah. But your knowledge or the skill is big zero if you do not have attitude. So attitude is very, very, very important. And that attitude comes when you do not have any ego stick in your head. And never ever have the ego that I know everything, my sab kuch hu. It's not that. Even, when one of the greatest person, when he died, he asked to leave his hands outside, isn't it? He didn't take anything with him. So he just left everything. So is dunya mein mera kuch nahi hai, because there's nothing in this world.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm making, whatever I'm doing, it's all just, I'm going to leave everything here. But whatever the name you are going to get, whatever the satisfaction you are going to get, that will remain with you. And that's why, never ever, have that attitude of having a hatredness, or looking somebody below you or anything. Always look, as a leader, you think, because if somebody is below you, you think that means you're not a true leader. Always you see everyone equal to you or
Yeah.
above you. Then
Yeah.
that's the reason, you'll never start hating anyone. And
Agree.
that's the best message. So
Uh,
attitude is very, very important.
Thank you very much, sir. As you can see that we are just left with the 2 minutes. So I don't want to lose this opportunity that please do give us to take home lesson. You have given enough, but it's time for the last but the sweet message from you, sir.
Oh, God. Still, you want one more message? Okay. So the another thing, there are plenty
That's
of
a
proverbs.
customary, actually. That's a customary ritual.
No worries, no worries. I'm just joking, madam. Yeah. So there is a saying, a lot of proverbs in our back home. And one of the thing I remember is, united we stand and divided we fall. Yeah. And we know, everybody knows, it's from the childhood we learn about this. I can just say, united we win, or divided we lose. And but what is it? It's a actual or a depth meaning of it. If you look into that one, so what we need to bring within ourselves to win, or to stand, or divide, or to fall, or to lose. So what it is most important as a nurse, as a professional nurse, is like, one, you need to have a love. Yeah. Second is a smile and your attitude. And most important thing is you are passionate about your profession. Love and affection, passionate, and all these together, makes you a very, very strong person, and makes your mind very strong. And once your mind is strong, nobody can shake you, nobody can destroy you, nobody can spoil you. Because you know the with this one, and implement this one with your family life. Think about your child, think about your wife, think about your spouse, your parents, your loved one. So if you have that, all these characters, love, affection, heart, and gratitude, and all these things within you, your family is together, which means family is happy. And if you lack of any one of this, it will destroy your family life. And the similar thing, bring it to the organizational way or a professional way. Your patients, your families, your colleagues, your families, relatives, patients, relatives, all your bosses, managers, and everybody. Because true leader doesn't see as a boss. I use the word as a boss, but it's not a boss. It's your leader, your role models. Because leader cannot be a boss, then otherwise he is not known as a leader. So all these together bring it, and then life will be very successful. So when you think of united we win and divided we lose, always think of all these characters of a true leader or a passionate leader. And never ever forget that, why am I here? What is my duty? This is a message I'm
Thank
giving.
you very much, sir. And let me
Thank
tell
you,
you, when I
everyone.
was talking about this take home lesson from the sir, then one more example he quoted, that united together we win, and I'm so
Divided.
sorry, I'm just
Divided we fall.
divided we fall. He said your thought, words, and action has to be united if you really wanted to win and be successful, satisfactory in your life. So that's another very important message. As we today we had such a lovely interaction with sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing time, giving us life real examples and how you tackle and how you use this transformational leadership skill, and I would say a very unique quality of a leader. So, what is transformational leader? Transformational leader, as I said, a leader who create better leader than himself. A transformational leader is the one who is always looking not only the basic need of his team, but thinking about to creating a self actualization in his teammates, and thinking about to increasing their self esteem, and ultimately they are feeling better to be the part of that team. Another thing is that transformational leader is always inspiring. They are very passionate, they are very hardworking, and that's all quality we can see in sir, and therefore we invited him to talk about on this concept. With that note, thank you very much once again. Thanks for sparing time for this show, sir, and everyone watching us.
Okay, thank
And
you.
please don't go away, because we will be here of the recording of the Facebook. And please do watch us next week, because next week we will be celebrating our Impact Factor 3.0, and we are going to talk about the nurse and teacher. Over to you, sir. Yes.
Okay, just last three important things I wanted to mention is, because we are in the pandemic situation, and what I personally realize after suffering with that one is, time is very important, health is very important, and the relationships are most important, because these three things doesn't have any price tag on it. So friends, please do not waste your time, because once the time is lost, we will not get it back. We can make a lot of money. We may win the lottery when I'm at 82, like a KFC boss. Yeah, I can become a millionaire at the 90 or 100 years old, but we cannot get the, like 1 hour what is gone now, I cannot buy that time with any kind of money. So that's why with this, when we lose them, we'll not get it back. Then after losing that, we'll realize the value of the time, value of the health, and the value of the relationship.
Relationship.
So these are the three important things you need to remember always.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for telling that.
No, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, sir, adding value on these closing remarks. So please don't forget to take care of your health, be respectful towards your relationship, and don't waste your time. With that note, thank you very much, and see you next Friday.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.